In the Obama Chronicle segment tonight, there's no question Barack Obama's image has taken a hit over his association with radical college professor William Ayers. In 1970, Ayers, along with his wife Bernardine Dohrn, were indicted for inciting a riot and conspiracy to bomb government buildings. Dohrn was convicted. Ayers was not. However, Ayers remains unrepentant, telling the New York Times in 2001, quote, "I don't regret setting bombs. I feel we didn't do enough." The question, why was Barack Obama involved with William Ayers in the first place? Joining us now from Washington, Stanley Kurtz, a contributing editor at the National Review Online, who has been following the story for years. There's a lot of misinformation, Mr. Kurtz, about this, I want to correct the record as much as we can tonight. I also want to tell the audience that the Obama campaign is angry at you for talking about this, so they don't like what you have to say about it, and I want to get both of those things on the record. When did Barack Obama and William Ayers first come into contact? How did that happen?
Bill, we don't really know the answer to that question. The first time that we know they were in contact was in early 1995 because Bill Ayers created a foundation, an education foundation in Chicago called the Chicago Annenberg Challenge. And Barack Obama became the chairman of the board of that foundation. That's the first time we know they were together, and later that year there was the famous fundraiser and kickoff for the campaign of Barack Obama in the home of Ayers and Dohrn. That was Obama's first political campaign. That was late 1995. But whether they knew each other before 1995, we don't know, and someone ought to really ask Senator Obama that question.
I did, but I didn't get that micro, and we'll get into that for a minute. So, 1995 is the first public record. Ayers founds this foundation. Obama is the chairman of the board, so that means that they had to have a lot of interaction because the chairman of the board and the founder are going to speak. Okay, so now they're there, and they're community activists together. All right, they're both trying to help poor people in Chicago. Would that be accurate?
Yes, and they're focusing on education at that early stage.
But their intent is not a malevolent intent. I have no use for this Ayers at all. I don't like him. I think he's a bad American. But at this point, what they were in business to do, both Ayers and Obama, was to get help for poor people in Chicago. That's correct, right?
Yes, and the way they wanted to do that was by helping out these community organizers. That's what they were really trying to support.
Okay, so they're there. And they have an association, and the association continues then from 1995 on. Were they ever in any way, shape, or form close? Did they work together on any legislation? I understand it was some kind of juvenile crime bill they were both involved with.
Well, that's right, Bill. In 1997 and 1998, there was a major battle in the Illinois State Legislature over juvenile crime legislation, and Barack Obama and Bill Ayers really worked together to try to torpedo that juvenile crime bill, which most people, by the way, would have considered to be a very reasonable bill. And Bernardine Dohrn was also trying to torpedo that bill.
Yeah, it basically said that if you are a minor and you commit 2 violent felonies, convicted of 2, you go to an adult prison. So you get 1 shot free, violent felony, but the second one you go to the big prison, no more coddling. Both Ayers and I got on Obama for this. I said it was a bad decision, and he said, now, Barack Obama continues to say, he said it to my face, look, what this guy did was in the past, I was working with him in the community trying to get things done that I believed in. Why would I care about what he did in the past? And you respond?
Well, Bill Ayers and Bernardine Dohrn, for that matter, both believe that the work they do on education and on juvenile crime is the fulfillment of their early radicalism. They don't see it as turning away from that radicalism. That's one reason why they're helping these radical community organizers. That's one reason why they were opposed to a juvenile crime bill, which even most liberals were very much in favor. Dohrn and Ayers are on the far left of education and juvenile policy issues, and in those years in the 90s, Obama was basically allied with them.
Are you holding it against Obama now that he was allied with them then?
I definitely am, or at least it shows that he's on the very far left.
All right, Mr. Kurtz, we appreciate that very much. Thank you.
But he has a relationship with Bill Ayers and with Bill Ayers' wife and family that goes back 20 years or more. Bernardine Dohrn Bill Ayers' wife, who took credit for the bombings in New York, was a co-worker of Michelle Obama at the Chicago law firm of Sidley and Austin, where Barack Obama and Michelle Obama met. Barack Obama, as you pointed out, served on the board of the Wood Foundation for a number of years with Bill Ayers. Barack Obama was a director of an organization called the Annenberg Challenge in Chicago, which, if you look at Bill Ayers' resume on his website, he takes credit as one of the founders of that organization. In addition, there is an organization, I believe it was called the Education Leadership Council in Chicago. Again, Senator Obama served on that board with Bill Ayers' brother, with Bill Ayers' father. I think what's troubling is that the senator tries to dismiss this as if he's a neighbor down the block who did something 40 years ago. It is a working relationship. It apparently has been a working relationship for close to 2 decades. And indeed, as you pointed out, Barack Obama launched his very first political campaign at a kickoff party in their living room. I think he has to answer how he can be associated, how he can choose as a mentor a man who engaged in violent acts against this country and its institutions in the 70s, and who continues to advocate violence today.